Hi, I'm Alpina Singh, and welcome to Check Please, the show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how the show works. Every week we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go to check them out to see what they think. This week, event specialist Mary McLaughlin says her delightful destination caters to just about everyone. She says for delicious French food, creative cocktails, and a relaxing atmosphere, you can't beat her suggestion. But marketing executive Jim Bloom says everything always comes up roses at his recommendation. He says for perfect pasta and the most genuine pizza in town, you gotta join him at his favorite spot. But up first, real estate professional Curtis Lott says in a city of sensational steakhouses, his selection always seals the deal. He says for sizzling steaks, spicy shrimp, and superb service, just follow him to River North and check out Steak 48.
We're a steakhouse, but when you come in, you walk in, you can't miss. We have a huge raw bar in the kitchen that's behind this floor-to-ceiling glass that everybody can see, with all our shellfish back there.
Options, options, options. Now the restaurant's large, but it's a collection of intimate spaces. The rooms all feel very different. You can choose a little more of an energized feel. You can choose a little more of a traditional dining feel, but all with an overlay of this warm, contemporary atmosphere that makes you feel comfortable.
We talk about people in our places seem like they're celebrating all the time for no reason. So we just want people to have a great meal and have a great time. And it's all about entertaining themselves and having fun.
And you sit down and you say to yourself, I'm in the right place. That's the feeling that you want to make. That's the experience.
So, Curtis, Steak 48 always leaves your mouth watering. Tell us why you chose it.
Mouth watering, yes, absolutely. Especially coming from the raw seafood bar they have. When you walk in, you're going to your table, they have all of these exotic seafood items like king crab legs and lobster and so forth, and it's all covered on ice. So mouth-watering, yes.
But okay, so Chris, we have so many wonderful steakhouses in Chicago, and you could have picked so many. But why Steak 48?
Steak 48 because it was a newer steakhouse, and it has like this incognito feel to it. When you walk in from the outside, you see this box building, and it has a patio up top, and you're like, "What is this place?" So you walk in, and when you walk in, it's like, wow, the energy, the music. The bar to the left, you see the raw seafood bar as well. You're walking through the tables and everyone's looking at you, and then you're looking at all the wine bottles in the glass area. And then as you walk up the stairs, when they take you to your table, they're telling you about the place, and everyone is like kind of in that mode of, hey, look at me, look at me. Yeah. They have that River North feel to it.
Yeah, feeling fly.
Exactly. And everyone's pulling out your chair for you, and you sit down, and even though it may have that traditional service feel, it's still a very modern restaurant, and I had to choose it, and I'm glad I did.
So, Jim, you're a big restaurant guy. Had you heard of Steak 48?
I hadn't heard of Steak 48, and I would say don't walk upstairs. Just walk back. Our dining room was back toward the kitchen. There's an open window.
Compartments, right?
And it's very compartmentalized, and it's very intimate that way. And that's what I liked about it. It wasn't like one of these typical Chicago steakhouses where you're eating in a white tablecloth coliseum.
Exactly.
So I actually sat in one of the darkest areas of the restaurant, and I wish I had been either by the bar or upstairs because I'm not that old, and it was so dark I almost couldn't see. So trying to
cell phone
read.
flashlight.
Yeah, but the food was amazing. I definitely loved everything I had.
All right, let's get into the food. Jim, what did you order?
I ordered the tomahawk pork chop, and I would strongly recommend it.
You don't see that often.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
See with steak.
Yeah,
that must have been gigantic.
It was pretty big. Well, everything there is sort of Flintstones portions to begin with.
It's a steakhouse.
So it's a steakhouse, right? Yeah, exactly. And so you're going to be taking stuff home and filling up the refrigerator and playing Tetris.
Can we talk about the bread that they brought out in the beginning? It was good.
Little mini rolls. And
Oh
then,
my gosh,
yeah.
I tried not to eat it because I was like, I need to eat everything else, but
You're
the
right.
bread was so good.
Yeah.
And then I had the crab cakes and then the fried banana split. So good.
All right, well, Curtis,
Mm-hmm.
if I were going to Steak 48, what should I order?
Definitely you have to get steak, right? They even have bone-in fillets, which a lot of steakhouses are trying to do these days, which makes it that much juicier. The sides, I love the Brussels sprouts. That's true, you gotta have some vegetables in there. However, that creme brulee corn, oh my goodness.
I did see that. I should have done that.
I mean, it tastes like candy corn. It really does.
wow.
It's so great. So you gotta have mac and cheese. Their
Okay,
desserts.
I'm going with you.
The one thing I did think was that the presentation wasn't as good as the food tasted. The food tasted so good that I was like, the person I went with got a steak on this really hot plate, and it didn't look great, but it tasted amazing. And same with the crab cakes. I don't think it looked as good as it tasted.
Well, the plates are 500 degrees.
Yeah.
The Steak
Right.
48 is founded by the Mastro's family from the old Mastro Steakhouse. So there is a lot of the Mastro feel to it. It's you know, they're a family where steak runs in their blood.
Yeah, right,
Obviously.
right.
All right, we're talking about a steakhouse, so you gotta have a slab and a cab. So let's get into the wine program.
The binder that they bring you.
We have to drink.
You
That was
have
an
to
exciting
and they have
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
was
wines
pretty
by the
big.
glass.
They have
a
50
ton-
wines
yeah,
by the
50
glass.
wines
Yes.
by the glass, and then they have, you know, the usual stuff that the label drinkers like, but they also have, you know, stuff that people may not have heard of before, and if you've had a lot of wines, you may want to drink.
The pour is amazing. It was a huge pour, and it was so amazing on a Friday.
They call it a Chicago pour, and
Is that
it's
the
a
name?
9-ounce pour. Now,
was
industry
large.
standard is about 5 ounces, so it's almost double. And it's little over a third of a bottle. So you're gonna get a glass of wine
You're
here.
gonna get a glass
Okay.
of wine, right? You're getting a glass of wine.
Well, Curtis, you picked Steak 48. Sum it up for us.
Steak 48, if you're looking for a very impressive yet elegant steakhouse with the best service, consistent food, great ambiance, gotta choose Steak 48.
Mary?
I thought it was really good food. The service is amazing. The presentation wasn't Instagrammable, but I thought that everything else there was amazing, and I really enjoyed it.
And Jim?
I thought it was interesting executions of steak dishes and various things, a good value, and I'd go back.
Well, you can try the steak, seafood, and much more at Steak 48, 615 North Wabash Avenue, 312-266-4848. Open Sunday through Wednesday, 5 p.m. through 10 p.m., Thursday through Saturday, 5 p.m. through 11 p.m. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is $85. Chicago's no stranger to pizza places, but Jim Bloom says he's found a scrumptious slice hidden in Hyde Park. He says for delicious, authentic Neapolitan cuisine, follow him to Hyde Park and check out Nella's Pizza and Pasta.
I love when the people come here and say, oh my God, I feel like home. Here it's real Italian. My grandfather was pizza maker, my grandfather, my father, and then me. I make the pasta, gnocchi, pappardelle, scialatielli by hand. I make this pasta for myself. Everything I prepare is all fresh ingredients. Start to the tomato, start to the basil, mushroom, garlic. I squish my garlic, I squeeze my lemon for the salad. Everything's gotta be fresh. When you eat, you gotta taste the ingredients. Then you gotta taste the tomato, the basil, the mozzarella, nothing else. the sauce, the pasta al dente, or the ingredient. It's Italian. The food was so good. That's what I wanted to say.
So Jim, you say that Nella's is a delight. Tell us why you chose it.
I chose it because it's not the usual Chicago Italian or Chicago pizza place.
Just say it, deep dish.
Yeah, and I have, may lightning not strike, but I'm anti-deep dish. So anyway, I like thin pizza. They have this great wood oven. It's a centerpiece in the restaurant, and at 900 degrees, they make these great, fabulous pizzas. I just really like the clean flavors, the modern Italian interior. It's just a really great place to go for dinner.
What are we ordering at Nella's?
Well, pizza. So you can order either the Bianconero or the Capricosa or Fungi Salsiccia. Most of the pastas are handmade and right there at the restaurant. So the Capricosa, or there's another dramatic, which is served dramatically. It's in a foil swan. Or there's the Vesuvio pizza with steam coming out of it. It's very puffed up. The other thing with Neapolitan food is seafood's the star. So there's a lot of great seafood dishes there.
I thought it was pretty good. The oven brick, like you said, so you get that thin yet crispy.
It's so hot, 900 degrees, that pizzas take less than 2 minutes to cook up.
Less than 2 minutes. And you get that little charry, crust on the outside. And, we did sausage and very fresh ingredients.
Yes.
The kids weren't used to the authentic Italian, fresh ingredient, but I found it pleasant and refreshing.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah, very clean flavors.
Yeah.
So I went for lunch one day. It was really good. I had 2 issues with my food. It was just that the toast on the burrata was a little bit it wasn't toasted enough, and so the burrata soaked through.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a sandwich and it wasn't that hot. But everything else was amazing. The flavors were great. The service was amazing, and it's such a cute look inside. I know it's right in near campus, so all of the students who go there, I'm sure they flock to the patio and they can take pictures, Instagram themselves and things like that. Presentation was amazing.
So Mary, you'd mentioned this Instagrammable factor.
Yeah.
Is this a thing now where you pick restaurants based on, it's gonna be pretty to photograph? Or does it matter? The dish has to it helps to it looks pretty, I want to take a photo of it.
I think it always helps if presentation. I mean, it's something, it doesn't cost anything. It's just about a little bit of effort of making something look nice. I think it is a thing now. You want to be Instagrammable.
Your mouth water a little bit.
Yeah.
The picture.
Curtis,
it's free.
did you find Nella's Instagrammable?
You know what? I didn't even think about the Instagrammable. I did like the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I did. I wish the patio was open for us to sit out, because it did look like a very intimate and kind of cozy patio there. And like you said, it had that modern Italian feel to it, with all the pasta sauces on the shelves, and all white decorum, and the oven brick was the centerpiece. It was very, very good. I liked
The
it.
Vespa.
The Vespa hanging.
Casually hanging from the ceiling.
Right, exactly. Exactly. It had that it had that European feel to it.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice.
Yeah, and then Nella, there's a Nella Grassana, she is the pizzaiola. I mean, her great-grandfather was a pizza maker. Her father was a pizza maker. She started making pizza at age 6 in Naples.
Exactly.
And like most pizzaiolas and pizzaiolas, she is unyielding.
Right.
Have you ever had an interaction with her?
Oh yeah, no, I've gotten to know Frank and Nella quite well, and she does have very strict opinions about what should go on. She's very anti-ranch dressing. So yeah.
I'm guessing your 4-year-old daughter.
So.
What's the restaurant scene like in Hyde Park?
Well, the restaurant scene's grown up a lot. I mean, Hyde Park was sort of, when I moved there 10 years ago, it was sort of void of any kind of really good food scene, and now we've had some places open up.
So Mary, the day you went, what was the crowd like?
I went at 11:30, so right before the lunch crowd, and then right at noon, it was packed just with students. It was actually mostly students when I went, but it was in the middle of the day. So it was a lot of visiting students and their parents and things like that. But I felt like the students probably were like, this is so hip and new, let's go there. And I agree with you. I think that the restaurant scene is building in Hyde Park, and I definitely appreciate that.
All right, Jim, you picked Nella. Sum it up for us.
I would say if you want to save your money and you can't get to Naples, you don't have the time or the money, go to Nella. You get really genuine, authentic Neapolitan food and great pizzas and pastas.
All right, Curtis?
I would piggyback off what you said. Very authentic, yet modern Italian pizza and pasta place. And I would definitely go there for some great fresh ingredients.
All right, and Mary?
I would say go there for fresh ingredients, great food at a great price point, and very Instagrammable.
Well, you can try the pizza and more at Nella Pizza and Pasta, 1125 East 55th Street, 773-643-0603. They're open weekdays 10:30 to 10 p.m. and 9:30 to 11 p.m. on weekends. Brunch serves Saturday and Sunday only. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $30. Mary McLaughlin says she's right at home at her beloved bistro. She says if you're looking for a charming spot with delectable dishes, join her and Chef Dominique in Lincoln Park and get cozy at Chez.
Well, Chez, it's authentic French bistro in Chicago, and the intention was to give some sort of modern feel, but really also the rustic aspect. You come here, Chez moi, you expect to see a French guy, you know, then, and here I am. Mais on va pas rester toute la soirée, on y va à peu près pendant... That's really the most important for me, is to have this authenticity, to show the people, okay, this is what we are, you know, and there is no hiding in my kitchen, in my cooking. The ultimate pleasure is to have a customer leaving the restaurant with a big smile and shaking your hand and telling you, okay, see you soon. I mean, that's ultimately what we are looking for. This is also the beauty of having, you know, it's a small independent restaurant. We know a lot of our customers, and we are fortunate to have the people in Lincoln Park to really support us and to be here for us. And then they're here for us, and we are here for them.
So Mary, you say Chez is perfect for any occasion. Tell us why you chose it.
So I've actually been there at every meal. I've been for brunch, lunch, and dinner, and I just feel like it's great, authentic French food. I love the atmosphere. It's so quiet and intimate, even if it's a crowded. The menu is very small, but almost in a nice way. I'm like, okay, I've done that dish. Let's try something different, or I feel like I want to try that again. Let's go for it again. I just can't rave enough about it. It's my favorite spot.
You think, you know, authentic French and you kind of feel maybe intimidated, but the menu was not intimidating at all. It was a very American approach to it. Items that we would, you know, definitely enjoy. I had the beef bourguignon, which was awesome, and you know, I had the escargot with the pastry on top. All of their sauces were actually, you could tell they were homemade. Even in the dessert, I can't think of the name, but it was almost like a shortcake, a pound shortcake, and it had like a caramel sauce, and even the caramel sauce, you know, was homemade. Absolutely delicious and fresh and very, like you said, intimate, and you definitely get that French feel to it.
Yeah, I ate the steak tartare. I loved it. It was a great dish. They had a lamb shank that sounded really good. I'd like to go back and try either the duck or the cassoulet or something.
It's hearty food.
Yeah. And it's great.
Portions.
Yeah, good portions. But I'd like to go back and try some of those things
Who
again.
did you go with?
I went with my brother, sister-in-law, and then my wife and daughter.
Mary, what do you like to eat at Chez?
I love their seafood, anything. So there's a seafood pasta dish I love. I love mussels, and it comes with French fries. So even people who aren't warm on seafood, they can like take the French fries and dip it in the butter sauce. I love butter, so it's everything has butter, tons of butter in it. So
Was it Instagrammable?
very Instagrammable. They have quirky little decorations all around, and they have Chez burned into each of the tables, and I just think it's so cute. There's like a large clock, there's paintings on the wall. It's not too much though, it's not like Alice in Wonderland-y feel to it. It's just like enough decor where it's like, oh, it's a conversation piece. I'll be like, what do you think that is? But overall, I think it's really quiet, and I like that about it.
You know what? The town of, or the neighborhood of Lincoln Park should be, really proud of themselves to have such a great, like you said, authentic. It makes it feel as if you are in France somewhere. Very boutique-ish, so everyone was pretty close. And you can hear the oohs and ahs of everybody. In fact, they even have a cocktail called the Ooh La La.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, with the grapefruit and gin, and that was very delicious, and everybody had it. It was great.
And it reminded me the interior in some of the places in the Marais and in Paris.
Yep.
So very authentic feel and vibe there and look.
Yeah, well, even Chef Dominique Tugno was the longtime chef at Bistro 110, which now closed. And, I get sad every time one of these French bistros closes. And even where Chez is, used to be another French bistro. And before then, it used to be another French bistro.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're keeping the tradition of French food alive here.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a great cuisine, and there aren't a lot of options anymore.
Curtis, did you see Chef Dominique on your visit?
I did see Chef Dominique. We went on a Friday evening, early evening, 6 o'clock-ish, and he was up front greeting people, and we met him and I guess the 2 other managers, Chad and I forget what the lady name was, but they came by the table and they talked to everyone, so approachable, telling us their favorite items, telling us, I was even kind of speaking French with them a little bit, just a small knowledge that I had.
Allez-y, prenez des photos. Justin, how is the escargot? You like it? Good.
It's just like such a fun atmosphere. I would love to see what a large group would be like there. Was it hard to find a table for as many people?
No, and also we had my niece with us, and she had a French 75, which is a rather nice cocktail. But we went on a Thursday night, and it wasn't that crowded, but it was mostly people from the neighborhood.
Families dressed down, very comfortable, looked like they just got off work, wanted to walk the dog, take the kids for an early evening, and and very, like it's on Halsted, right there in Lincoln Park, so it had that feel to it. Great.
All right, Mary, you chose Chez. Sum it up for us.
It's just the perfect neighborhood spot. It's got great food, great service, and every time I go, it's a different experience, but it still feels like home.
And Jim?
Updated French bistro, very good cocktail list, very good desserts. The profiteroles, I would say, were outstanding. I total recommend.
And Curtis?
Hey, ditto to both of you all. Great neighborhood spot if you want to go to Paris without actually spending that big ticket to go to Paris. Stop by Lincoln Park and go to Chez.
All right, well, you can taste the tartare and much more at Chez, 2100 North Halsted Street, 773-871-2100. They're open 7 days a week for lunch, brunch, and dinner. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $30. So in this week's show, we featured Steak 48 in River North, Chez in Lincoln Park, and Nella's Pizza and Pasta in Hyde Park. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we made our way to Wabash and dropped in at Steak 48. Curtis recommends it for the high-class feel and fantastic food selection. Mary thought the food was delicious, but didn't look as good as it tasted. Jim liked the unique steakhouse experience and the large portions. Then we went to 55th Street and visited Nella's Pizza and Pasta. Jim recommends it for the clean flavors and the modern Italian decor. Curtis was pleased with the fresh ingredients and the European feel. Mary liked the food and thought it was very Instagrammable. Lastly, we headed to Halsted and sat down at Chez. Mary recommends it for authentic French food and intimate atmosphere. Jim enjoyed the traditional feel and the combination of flavors. Curtis appreciated the approachable menu and liked the boutique vibe. Well, we've had just a wonderful time this week, and I'd like to thank my guests, Curtis Lott, Mary McLaughlin, and Jim Bloom. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Alpina Singh, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.